All right.
Everybody on? Okay. What a difference a day makes, huh? Crazy sport. The hell did I get into this sport all these years ago for, huh? Such a roller coaster of emotions. And as I told the team, and I've told many teams for many years, they only count as one. You know, whether you win or lose, yesterday counted as one game. And guess what? Today only counts as one game as well. And I'm really proud of our team, you know, to get knocked on your back the way that we did yesterday, and to get back up off the mat today and to come back and play like we did and ride Landon Marceau, and he was obviously the leader of the team today, and to go out and play well and to you know, to get a big win like we did was great. And if we can finish the weekend tomorrow, you know, you can only imagine how many people had given up on the team and had nasty things to say about the team yesterday. I don't read them, but I can only imagine how people were panicking and saying, you know, we're the worst thing ever. And if we can come back and win like we did today, win again tomorrow, and win the weekend series, I just think it shows huge character in our team. It's like, you know, fighting in a boxing match and getting knocked down in the first round and barely getting up off the floor at the 9 count and then coming back and winning the fight. How proud can you be of a group of kids if they do something like that? And so tomorrow a lot is at stake for our kids. You know, I challenged them, and I believe that they'll respond tomorrow and come out and play with a lot of vigor and get after it. And I'm looking forward already to tomorrow. See if we can really continue to grow as a team. You know, you don't like to go through what we went through yesterday, but if we can finish the job tomorrow and win this series, there's something to be said about, like I said, getting knocked on your backside and have your nose bloodied and not lay there and give up, but instead get back up on your feet, come back fighting, and ultimately, you know, win the bout. So today was a step in the right direction, and hopefully we can finish the job tomorrow.
Hey, Coach, you know, you mentioned Landon. I mean, that's now 3 straight really solid outings from him. I mean, have you ever seen a start like this from a pitcher before? I mean, it's, you know, 17 innings where he hadn't allowed a run now is in 3 starts. I mean, just kind of talk about his start to the season.
I'm sure I've seen it before. I had a pitcher by the name of Aaron Nola here that pitched in the purple and gold at one time. I'm sure he did something special like this. I had a kid named Alex Lang and others, Lewis Coleman. Should I continue? I'm sure if you go back and check the record, they probably did some pretty special things, but I'm not at all surprised by what Landon Marceau is doing. I told you during the fall, he was by far our best pitcher. I shouldn't say by far. AJ Labus was really great too this fall, but Marceau really stood out. I mean, he dominated our hitters in the fall, and so I'm not surprised at all. You know, and I thought very strongly about, you know, having him go on Friday nights, but you know, when we came back in the spring, I just felt that Jaden had really stepped it up and he was ready for the challenge. And it, you know, he had that, the opportunity to be a really dominant guy, and he, you know, fit the mold of the Friday night starter. And I think what happened to him yesterday is a real aberration. I think he's going to bounce back strong next Friday. Haven't lost 1 ounce of confidence in Jaden Hill, I can assure you of that. But to know that we have a guy in the middle game that can pitch like Landon is a real asset for our team. It's very encouraging. When I was driving home last night, as demoralizing as yesterday afternoon's game could have been, I called Landon on the way home, and I told him, I said, you know, I've always felt that the middle game of a weekend series is always the most important game, because had we won the first game, the middle game allows you to win the series. If you lose the first game like we did, who do you want pitching the second game to get you back to even Steven for the weekend, but the guy that's most reliable? And I feel feel that way about you. And that's why I love you pitching this middle game of the weekend series. And he told me I'm ready for it. And he was. Obviously, he went out and pitched terrific baseball again. And, you know, we didn't knock the cover off the ball early, but, the young kid, Jordan Thompson, came through with a clutch single for us to give us a 1-0 lead. And after 4.5 innings, you know, we had a 1-0 ball game. And, we were only going to get one more inning out of Marceau, and I was going to go to Ty Floyd in the 7th, even in a 1-0 game. And, you know, we had limited bullpen out there. And then in the bottom of the 5th inning, I guess, we got it really a series of clutch singles. I'm going to try to remember who got them all there for us. Brody Dross got the big one with 2 strikes on him. We had to play station to station. Then Cade Beloso dropped one in. Then Gavin Dugas got one. So yeah, we got some really clutch, you know, singles with runners in scoring position, which extended the lead. And then we obviously were able to build on the lead from there. We had that bizarre infield fly rule ball drop, and that kind of broke the game open. There, you know, separated the game a little bit, and then we were able to get a lot of players in. But you know, there was a time there where the way Marceau was pitching was very critical for the game, and then the clutch hitting really took over as well. Is that it? From Ron Higgins to everyone. Question. Ronnie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. We've seen Dylan Cruz bat so far, but the throw he made in the first inning, just from your viewpoint, can you just describe the throw, and also who is his arm comparable to in outfielders you've had?
You know, Ron, it's his second throw he's made in a week. Just like that. He did the same exact thing against Nichols the other day in the afternoon game that we played. It was the exact same situation. Runner on first base, first inning, nobody out, base hit to right. He did the same thing against Nichols, threw the runner out at third base, just like he did today. Had he not done that, it would have been runners on first and third, nobody out in the first inning. And chances are the other team's going to score. It changes the whole complexion of the game. When I evaluate players to play the outfield, the throwing arm is the last of the tools that matter to me in college baseball. I want a guy that can hit. I want a guy that can run, because the running tool factors in offense and defense. So I want a guy that can really go catch the ball. Okay. Did I say I wanted a guy that can hit? Okay, let's say a guy that can hit for some power. And then I look at the arm last. Okay. But when you have a guy that has an arm like he does, what an asset. Those 2 throws just, you very rarely get that 5-tool player in college, Ron. And that's the thing. So that's why it's the last thing I look at, because it's so rare to get that 5-tool player. And of the 5 tools for me in a 56 game schedule, the arm comes into play the least amount. You want somebody who can hit for power, play deep, run and catch the ball, and then run on the bases with his speed, you know. But when you got a guy that has an arm, oh my gosh, it really can change a game. And he's demonstrated that twice. So I honestly can't say that I can ever remember in all of my years of coaching having a right fielder with that caliber of an arm, because it's never been that important to me to recruit a guy. So now all of a sudden we've got a guy who feel like it's just lagniappe for me. And it certainly has made a difference in these 2 games this week. Might have to rethink my evaluation of the tools. Anybody else? Okay, sounds good, y'all. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.
All right, y'all can start with questions for Landon.
Hey, Landon, this is now after 6 scoreless innings today. You've now got 17 to start the year. I mean, what has it been like, being on this streak for you? Is it something that you ever think about, or do you just sort of let things happen?
No, I mean, I just let things happen. I'm not really focused on, the personal accolades, not having an ERA and this and that. And I couldn't tell you how many strikeouts I have, anything like that. It's how many W's can we put up? Am I giving my team a chance to win? Really the only stat I look at is the quality start stat, the 6 innings, 3 or less runs. So that's getting you deep into the game and giving your team a chance to win. That's really all I look at.
Yeah, Landon, I mean, today it looked, again, like everything was really working for you. I mean, is there been any critiques, I guess, from you the first 3 weeks, or has it been pretty, just pretty consistent throughout the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty consistent. I mean, last week the slider was money, and then now today the changeup was money, So I mean, it's crazy how baseball works. I didn't have the greatest feel for the slider. We used it when we needed it, but today the changeup was the great equalizer, and we relied on that a good bit.
Yeah, Landon, Coach McNamara talked about how he gave you a call last night, I guess about today's game. When you get a call like that from him on the night before a game, you kind of know it's like it's important to come out the next day and pitch pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a call like that, I knew already that it was very important for me to, come out and have a strong start. We used a lot of the pen last night. It was a very long game. The position players stood out in the field a long time. So, it's very, very important for me to get quick innings and to go pretty deep into the game. And, I did that. So put our team in a good position to win.
During that call, what did you and Coach Maneri say?
Yeah, I mean, he was just telling me that, he really needed me to step up and be a leader today. And, and that's pretty much all it was. It wasn't a very long conversation. It's just him telling me to, he has confidence in me to go out and give us a good start, a good quality start. And, that's all I was focused on doing today.
At the same time, off of that, I mean, that loss was obviously quite rough. So how did you see your teammates kind of responding and reacting to that yesterday after it ended?
Well, I mean, anytime you get beat by, I don't know if it was 13 or 15 or whatever, getting beat by double-digit runs, it's never a good feeling. I mean, I didn't play and I felt horrible. It's embarrassing to get beat that bad, and it really fuels a fire. For me pitching the next day, that getting beat that bad really contributed to the fire for today. Even though I didn't play yesterday, I'm part of the team. I'm very involved in the leadership of this team, and it hurts to be beat that bad and embarrassed like that. So especially on our home turf, and in front of our own fans, and it's hard to deal with that. And I think the best thing that could have happened today was go out and give our team a chance to win, and I did that. And we were able to really find the bats and hit good hard balls today, and at the later part of the game, and we're very fortunate for that. And and then Ty came in, did a great job, and Javen Coleman came in, closed her out, and that was it. So.
One more question, if I could. You talked going into the season about how you seem to really, at this point in your career, understand who you are as a pitcher. You weren't going to go try to throw 95 or 98 like Jaden. You really seem to know yourself. Is that kind of what we're seeing over these last 3 starts is sort of a product of that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been, even in high school, I've been very good at knowing, what works for me, whether it's workouts, some stretching or, pitches and whatever it is, I've always been really good at, being self-aware of what I'm good at, what I need to work on. And I think I was just trying to make too much of an impact that I couldn't do, that I wasn't capable of doing my freshman year. And I think that's what really kind of led to the injury, and then led to, some not being so successful. And then it's really, taking a step back and understanding, hey, I don't throw 98, I have to command 92, throw 3-4 pitches for strikes, and, keep the hitters guessing. And, that's what I'm doing now. I'm not trying to throw hard. And I'm really just trying to make good pitches with movement, keep them off balance and get quick outs.
Thank you. right, y'all can start with questions for Gavin.
Gavin, I guess for a second, looking back on yesterday, what was y'all's mood as players? Like, did y'all talk after that game to, yesterday about coming out today in a certain way? And sort of how did it contribute to what y'all wanted to do today?
Just taking one game at a time. Coach kind of said something yesterday that kind of stuck with everybody. Yesterday was one game out of the however many games we play this year. After we play that game, it was over with. When the clock hit midnight, we move on to the next. So that's what we came out today and focused on this game, this one game, so that we just kind of keep everything focused on one thing.
Your teammate, Landon, he's now got 3 straight quality starts. He hasn't allowed a run this season. What have you seen from him this year? Not just today, but the whole season, now 17 scoreless innings to start it.
Being around Landon for the last 3 years, you know that there's a ton of confidence out of him. I call it like a quiet confidence. He carries himself in a way that you just know that he's ready to go at all times, and he believes in his stuff. He believes in himself. He believes in us, which is what really gets me going whenever we do play. We play really good defense behind him. We love when he's on the bump. So it's just Landon's our guy, and he's one of our guys that we trust. So it's just glad to have him on our team.
I guess, further a follow-up about him, have you seen him sort of mature and grow over the last 3 years? Because he said coming in his freshman year that he was almost trying to do too much. How much do you see him sort of pitching to his capability now and like really knowing what he can do and what he wants to do?
Well, him coming in as a freshman, he did contribute a lot. So I know it was kind of not much of a surprise whenever he did what he did when he came here and into last year before the season got cut short and this year. But he just knows how to pitch. He trusts his stuff. He doesn't try to do too much. He gets outs when he can, and he pitches the contact when he has to. Like he knows how to keep the pitch count low, and he knows how to trust his defense. So that's something that Landon's really good at, and that's why we believe in him. So.
If no one else has any, I'll keep asking. If in the 5th inning there, how were y'all finally able to get to coffee?
Just keeping our mindset right, aggressive approach, always just never being down in those situations, just ready to go. And sometimes that's just baseball. If it comes and those innings happen, you just got to take advantage of them.
And then for you, you went 2 for 3 today. You're now batting .359 this season. What's working so well for you this year? I know we've asked you before. You sort of said how, I think you said you were like calm, at the plate. Is that still what's kind of, contributing to your success right now?
Pretty much. Try not to put too much influence on any different day. Just trying to stay relaxed, letting me be me. I like that quote a lot. Just staying relaxed. Coach has given me a lot of confidence in myself just to continue to move forward for the season, to try to be his leader as best as I can.
The way the last couple of seasons went, how exciting is it for you to be in this position now?
To be honest, at this point in my career, I'm just worried about winning. I like to take every game one at a time. At this point, we're really focused on the next game. We're ready for tomorrow. As soon as the clock hits 12 o'clock and it's a new day, we'll be ready to go. I just try to keep it as simple as possible, one game at a time, and don't try to look any farther than that.
All right, thank y'all. All right, y'all can start with questions for Zach.
Hey, Zach, it's Wilson. Hope you're doing well after, a win. What did you see out of Landon today? He threw another 6 scoreless innings, and it just seems like everything's working for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, Landon is just he's something special out there. It's awesome. Every Saturday we get to go out and play for him. He's going to give his best stuff. he just goes out there with a ton of confidence every day and really just believes in himself. And that makes us believe in him even more. So every time he gets the ball, we know we're going to be in for it.
Coach Maneri said that he was dominant throughout fall practice. What was it like trying to hit against him?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's always a tough at bat going against Landon. Everything he throws moves. He has command of all of his pitches. So just going up there, you know you're going to be in for a dogfight every time you're facing him.
Doug, you've been through plenty of games. How did you put yesterday's game in perspective when you went home?
What was that?
I said you've played in plenty of games. How did you put yesterday's game in perspective? You know, after it was over.
Oh yeah, I mean, you just got to try and flush those games as quickly as possible. It's just you know, you have a tough start, you come back, and then some other things just don't bounce your way in baseball, and that's just how it is. You know, baseball is just such a weird game sometimes, and you never know how it's going to be. So you just got to put it behind you as fast as possible and just realize tomorrow's a completely new day. Score starts at 0-0, and it's another new ball game.
Zach, Gavin's now batting .359 this season, and sometimes players on the team will say, like, you know, it couldn't have happened to a better guy. What is it about Gavin that makes y'all so happy for him when he's playing well?
Yeah, I mean, Gavin is just an all-around great guy. Everybody on the team loves him so much. And we really couldn't be happier. You couldn't have said it any better. I got to spend a lot of time with him this summer playing summer ball together, and we've really gotten close. So me personally, I love seeing him do well. I love seeing all of our guys do well, but Gavin is just another special player on our team that we really love, and he's always had our backs and everything. So it's just great to see him do good.
Is there anything that he's doing that's sort of creating this, you know, batting .359 at this point?
I think the main thing is he's just being himself up there. He's not trying to change anything, not trying to do too much. You know, he's just getting his pitches and putting a good swing on them. So I think that's the main thing, just being himself up there. I think we're good.
Is that all for Zach? Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Looks like it. Thanks, Zach.